And here is part 3 of the David Lovins age 24 video. If it works.
How are you getting this? Are you already going? That's so cruel of you. Let's get her to see if she can dance. Da-da-da! Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Yeah. Nice cute. Out. Alright. You just big. Nice kitty. No, she doesn't like to be stroked on the belly. Surprised, because most cats really love it.
Lots of cats eat that.
Alright. In a good mood.
This is some rich person's house now, and
Wow.
just works for one person.
Wow. That's amazing.
Must be a weird job.
Oh yeah. Must be insane. Are you going?
Yeah, I'm still on the test.
So why were we talking about Christ? Seems like we're going now.
You said that you kind of look like Christ.
Oh yeah, I had a beard.
Yeah, you said
And my hair is dyed even to match Jesus of Nazareth. And then a person last week said I looked like Jesus.
right.
And then I just read Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger. And it talks about one of the characters and their difficulties with saying the Jesus prayer, because it had been ingrained in this character since she was 10 years old. And she was having a problem with it at 20 because she didn't know whether or not to say the Jesus prayer anymore. So Christ has been a significant literary figure.
And you also said that maybe even Christ as an entity has inspired you. Was that the case?
I don't know if I said that, but that certainly touches upon the direction we were going. And we talked about Christianity, and we talked about its effects. And I think we both agree that Christianity in a social structure such as provided by religion is not really something we're keen on, right? We don't go to church. I don't go to church. Do you go to church?
No.
I think you can find Christ anywhere you look for it. Oh, and I was talking about how I've never met anyone who spoke in parables. And then I met this girl in this Bible group, and I asked her, have you ever met anyone who spoke in parables? And she said no. And she said, Jesus just did that for a reason. That answer wasn't good enough for me. Because if Christ certainly doesn't own the supermarket that sells the parables. Anybody can speak in parables. And I told you how it was one of the highest facets of poetry in the English language because it applies to anyone who's willing to listen. Everyone can find meaning in it. So if Jesus could speak in parables, why don't more people speak in parable? That's what I was saying.
You're like including everybody as a whole to be like Christ.
Well, it's like looking at a piece of art. If a person studies it, you can find meaning if it's a valuable piece of art. If it has value, it can uplift you in some way.
Value? in art?
Yeah, we talked about value, but I don't know if that's a subject I want to get into. So everyone has their own set of values, and my set of values might not work for anyone else, will they?
Well, not like values as far as morals, I guess, are concerned.
What do you mean by values?
Well, you said value.
What kind of values?
Value in art? You mean like the value, spiritual value or sentimental value?
Poetic quality.
Poetic quality. You read art as well as the way you look at art. I remember last night you were something that kind of told me it's like the way you see art. I just couldn't. I forgot about it, but it's like the way you see art. It's like it registers as words. Words come to mind when you look at a piece of art, and maybe you can you make up, or like a story comes to mind.
I think images can create words. The cliche being every picture has 1,000 words to it. I've been going to MoCA, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and part of the art show for me these days is not only going to see the art, but seeing how people react. That's so important. I see people do all kinds of things. I've seen people laugh. I've seen people be teary-eyed. I've seen people gawk. I've seen them laugh at paintings. I've seen people put paintings down. So I've seen all kinds of reactions. Happy, angry, mad, excited. I've seen plenty exorbitant people affected by art in a positive way, just in that moment of confrontation.
Do you feel that is good for someone to express emotion, not necessarily be agitated by what they see?
I think it allows them to be surprised. I don't think people go to museums in the same way they would go to a theater. Though when both experiences are over, it's almost the same thing.
When you do your art, do you expect people, or are you like drawing? Or you were telling me also about like if you were to write, or your example was if people were to see my art and they would sort of like marketing, what would you, for what audience would you want to paint or draw for, you know?
Yeah, I asked you about what audience you'd like to appeal to with your films or with your videos. And every visionary, so to speak, be it musician or poet, has an audience they're addressing. Often in poetry, a poet will address a single person. They'll title the poem after that person, but yet everyone can read it. So you have your specific audience and your general audience. Who is my audience?
Yeah, and how would you present it to them?